Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is the summary of lesson 4.3. In this lesson, we are going to see how we can add with partial sums. This is the lesson from Math Grade 2 from page 145 to 148. This lesson is adding the numbers with partial sums. That means that we can add two-digit numbers with having them in partial sums. But before we go and understand what are partial sums, we are going to recap what concept we had already about regrouping that we studied in our previous lesson. And for that we need to solve a problem here. Miss Kim's class has 25 students while Mr. Will's class has 36 students. Both classes go on a field trip. How many students are on the trip? So we need to add the number of students in Miss Kim's class and the number of students in Mr. Will's class, and then let's see how many are they all together. Draw place value blocks to help you solve the problem. So I've got here place value blocks. So I can arrange them this way, showing each a 10 bar shows here the Miss Kim's class. Here I can see 20, two tens and one separately all five link cubes. And here the green link cubes, they show the number of students in Mr. Will's class. So there are 36, so I can see here 3 rows of 10 link cubes and one I have got separate 6 link cubes. As we had studied in our previous lesson, how we can regroup them, the single link cubes and single blocks, when we have 10 or more than 10 blocks, we can regroup them into a one single 10. So this is what I have done here. I have collected 5 from the orange and 5 from the green link cubes, and I have regrouped them into a single 10. So before that I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, but now by regrouping the single link cubes, I have got 6 tens and a single separate one link cube. That means the total number of students in both classes is 61. So I'll write here 61. As I can see from the link cubes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens and one link cube is here. Here we can use the similar strategy we used in the previous example, but instead of the place value blocks, we can use the lines for tens and we can use the dots for the units. So here we have got to solve a problem. 57 plus 28, we can write it like this: tens and in the tens and units places, and we can show them with the help of lines and dots. So 57 means 5 lines and 7 dots, and 28 means 2 lines and 8 dots. Now we are going to see how we can add them using the partial sum method, and then we are going to check whether we have done it correctly with the help of these lines and dots. So in order to understand how we do the partial sums, let's have a closer look at these. Here we need to add 57 and 28. We have added them, written them here as tens and ones. Now we are going to add the tens first. That means here I can see in tens place 5. That means it's 50, because when a number is in tens place, that means it should be written like this, 50, and then we are going to add to it 20, because we can see there's a 2 in the tens place. So 50 plus 20 is equal to 70. Then we will be adding the ones, that is 7 and 8, and the total of 7 and 8 is 15. So this is the step 1, and we have got the partial sums 70 and 15. We can double check with our lines here that we have got 5 tens showing this 50 and 2 tens showing 20. So if we add them all together, they become 7 tens or 70. Similarly, I can see here there are 7 and 8 dots together, they make 15 ones. So this way we have got a partial sum of 70 and 15. In the final step, we are going to add the partial sums together to get a final sum. So here we have added 0 and 5 to get a 5, and 7 and 1 we have added together to get an 8. So this way we can add the partial sums to get a final sum. Let's solve these equations one by one using the partial method. So here we have got an equation 24 plus 13. I'm going to copy it here. 24 plus 13. I can write it like this and as tens and ones, and I can represent it with the help of the lines and the dots. Here I have shown it here 24, so I've got two tens and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have got 13, so I've got 1 10 here, and after 4 I have added 3 more ones. Now I need to solve it with a partial sum addition method, so I'll be adding the tens first. So I can write here the number 20 like this. 20, and then here I know 1 means 10, so I'll be writing here 10, because I know when there is 2 in tens place, that means it's a 20, and if there is 1 in tens place, that's 10. Now I'm going to add them together, so I know 20 plus 10 equals 30, so I'll be writing here 30. Then I'll be adding the ones, so I'll be writing 4 and 3. This time I will not write them 40 or 30 because I know they are in ones place, so each number means just 1. So 4 and 3 will be added as 7. So here I don't have anything, I'll be adding 0, or even I can leave it empty, and I can write here 7. This is the first step of this method. I have got the partial sums 30 and 7. I can write the partial sums 30 and 7. But the final step is still left, that is we need to add the partial sum into a final sum. So I can add 0 and 7, I'll get a 7 here, and 3, and again here 0, so I'll be writing here 3. That means the final sum of these partial sums is 37. I can even double check my answer with these place value blocks that it's 37. So let me check. 10, these 3 tens means 30, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sevens, and that means it's a total of 37. That means my final sum is correct. Let's go and solve this equation in the same way. 68 plus 7. Let's have a closer look at that. 68 plus 7. So I'll be writing here 60 and 8, and I can leave this place empty, or I can write 0 there, and then we have got 7 here. So this way I have copied the equation here, 68 plus 7. I can even show this with the help of place value blocks, and in this example we have got lines and dots. Like this, I have represented them 60, so 6 tens, and 8, I have got here 8 ones. Then I'll be adding them 7 ones to that, so I've got 7 ones here. Now to make it to add it with a partial sum addition method, I'll be adding the tens first. So I'll be writing here 60 plus 0, 60, and here 0 because there is nothing here, so the total will be 60. Now in the next step I'll be adding the ones, so I'll write here 8 and 7, and when I add them together I know that it's a near double, so I'll be 7 plus 7 is 14, so 7 plus 8 will be 15. I'll be doing it like this. Now in this final step I need to add these partial sums. I have got a partial sum of tens, that's 60, and I've got a partial sum of ones, that's 15. I'll be adding them, the partial sums, now to a final sum. So 0 and 5 equals 5. I'll be writing here 5, and 6 plus 1 equals 7. So I've got a total of 7 here. So my final sum is 75. Let me check with the place value blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, but I have got here 15. I can count from here, there are 15, and that means when we have 10 or more than 10 ones, we are regrouping them into a 10. So I'll be taking 10 out of them. Here you can see I have grouped the tens, and I'll remove these ones from here, and instead I'll be getting 110 here. So you can see I have removed the ones, and instead I have added a 10 here. What I'm left with is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. That means my sum is correct. I can write the partial sums here. These are the partial sums, 60 and 15. So the partial sums are 60 and 15. This is how we add we can add two-digit numbers using the partial sums. This is in this way we add the tens first and then the ones to get our partial sums, and in the second step we add these partial sums together into a final sum. Let's go back to this page. We have solved these two equations. Now let's see here. They're asking us, can you add the ones first and then the tens? You know, we have already in both methods we have added the tens first, then we added the ones. They are asking, is it okay to add the ones first and then the tens? When we are finding 57 and 28 using the partial sums, explain. So the answer for this is yes, we can add ones first, although the correct way to do it is to add the tens first and then the ones. But still, if we, let's see here, we have to add, they're asking us to add the 57 and 28. So let's add the ones first. We can see in the ones place there is 7 and 8. So let's add 7 and 8 and we get a total of 15. Then we will be adding the tens here. So 5 means 50. 2 means 20. So 50 and 20 equals to 70. Now we will add the partial sums. So we will get 5 and 0, 5. 1 and 7, 85 is just the same answer we have got here. While adding 57 and 28, we added here the tens first and then the ones. Here we have added the ones first and then the tens, but either way we get the same final sum. So yes, it's okay if we add the ones first. Similarly, we have got some more sums here that we are going to use in the same way we are going to add using the partial addition method. Down here we have got some more sums. We can even write them in this ways, because like see, 23 plus 1 something equals to 37. So 23 and 1, there is a number missing in the tens place and the total is 37. So it's in this way we can easily see that 2 plus 1 equals 3 and 3 plus something is 7. So it's very easy for us to know that it's 3 plus 4 equals 7. Now here again we have got a sum 59, which is a sum of something 8 plus 31. So I can write it here like this. 59 is the sum, and here we have got something in the tens place, and in ones place we have got 8. Then we have to add 31. Let's see what we can write in the missing place, missing number here. So 8 and 1 equals 9. Something plus 3 equals 5. So that something could be 2. Now we are on page number 148. We have got some problems here. Let's see how we can solve them one by one. 34 students are on the playground. 17 students are in the gym. How many students are there in all? We need to add 34 and 17. Let's see how we can do using the same method we have studied in this lesson, the partial addition method. Here I have written the same thing, 34 and 17. We're going to add the tens first. So I'm going to write here 30. And then here I'll be writing 10. And I know that the sum for 30 and 10 is 40. So I'll be writing here 40. I'll make sure that the answer for each thing should be aligned very properly. The ones should go exactly under each other and the tens should go exactly under each other, because this is the correct way of writing the sums. Next, I'm going to add the ones. So I'll be writing here 4 and I'll be writing here 7. Now I'll add them. I know 4 and 7 are 11, so I'll write here 11. Now in the final step, I'll be adding these partial sums, that is 40 and 11. So 0 and 1 equals 1 and 4 and 1 equals 5. So finally I have got a total of 51. That means 34 plus 17 equals 51. So there are 51 students in all. Next we are going to solve this question. Sarah puts 8 white roses in a vase. Then she adds 7 red roses and 12 yellow roses to the vase. How many roses are in the vase? Now we have to think about how you can break apart the problem into steps. What we can do is, in the first step, we can add the ones. Then whatever we get, the total of these two numbers can be added to this 12. Let's see how we can do that. I've written here 8 plus 7 like this. So I'll be adding 8 and 7. I know that it's a near double. 7 and 7 is 14. So 7 and 8 would be 15. Now I'll add this 15 with 2. Here I have written 15 and I'll be adding the 15 with 12, this number. So I'll be adding 15 and 12. So I can write here 1 and 1 is 2 and 5 and 2 is 7. So 15 and 12 is 27. The total will be 27. Now we come to the next question. Write each missing tens or ones digit. What strategy did you use? Let's see, we need to find the missing number here. 12 plus 3 equals, 12 plus 3 something, 30 something equals 50. So I can write it this way in a partial addition method. So I'll be writing here 12 and 3 something, 30 something. Then I know that I can add these tens like this. 10 plus 30 equals 40. And I know the final sum is 50. So I can write it here 50. I also know from here that I have got a 2 in the units place here, in the ones place. So I can write addition of the ones here, 2 plus something equals to something. So this way I know I need to have something. We will be adding something to 40 to get 50. And it's very easy. I can easily write here. If I add 10, I'll be writing 10 to 40, I'll be getting a 50 here. So how can what number should I be adding to 2 to get a 10? And it's very easy for me to know that if I add 8 to 2, it will be 10. So the missing number here will be 8. Let's check it once again. 2 and 8 equals 10, like this. And 10 and 30 equals 40. So here we have got a total of 50. Adding 40 and 10, the partial sums, we get a total of 50. So the missing number here is 8. So the strategy we have used here is the partial addition strategy. We can use any other strategy too to solve this. Let's see how we can solve this one. 24 plus 30 something to get a total of 60. Here in this method, I have taken the place value blocks to solve this equation. 24 plus 30 something equals to 60. So I'll be grabbing 2 orange 10 bars and 3 green 10 bars to represent my 20 and 30s. Here in the tens place I can see 2, so I've grabbed 2 here. In the tens place I can see 3, so I've grabbed 3 here. Now in ones place I can see 4, so I'll be grabbing 4 ones. And I know I need a total of 60, but here if I count the tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens only, I need to make a 10 here. So I'll be making it regrouping to make a 10. So I need to grab 6 more because already I have got 4. I'll be adding 6 more ones here to get a complete of 10. Now let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I have regrouped them into a 10. Now I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a total of 60 this way. So all I needed to add were 6 1 blocks. So that means the missing number here is 6. So I can write here 6. Finally, we have come to the final problem, which is the sum of 28 plus 36. Use partial sums to solve. So I need to add 28 and 36 and see which is the correct answer for that. I have copied this 28 plus 36 here. And let's see how we can solve it. Here, as you can see, I have copied the number 28 and 36 and we added the tens first, 20 and 30 to get a total of 50. Then I added 8 and 6 and the total was 14. Finally, I added the partial sums, which is 50 and 14. So 4 and 0 equals 4 and 5 and 1 equals 6. So I got a total of 64. So this is how I added 28 and 36 using the partial sum addition method. So my correct answer is 64.